more lifestyle.
It's President's Day, and we're now joined by someone who is making history as a leader. Janett Liriano is the CEO and co-founder of INARU. You now have over 6 patents. You're the only woman of color to raise more than $1 million twice with a venture capitalist fund. Tell us about the work you do at INARU, Janett.
Thank you. So INARU is really about valuing every person in a supply chain that contributes to incredible products. In our case, we noticed that 98% of cocoa from the Dominican Republic is exported as beans and transformed into amazing chocolate for a much higher price all around the world. And we really saw an opportunity to bring that value back home, first in the DR, and really ensuring that our farmers get to benefit from that commercial success. So what we do is we directly partner with farmers in the community, profit share with them off of our finished products, really aligning our incentives so that the cacao that they make directly translates into commercial success for them and their families.
So what are the core principles of compassionate leadership?
Compassionate leadership is really about being curious and generous with your assumptions. So in our case, there are many intermediaries in food supply chains. And instead of seeing them as an enemy or the problem, we got really curious as to what function do they serve and why do they exist. And they do the very important work of moving cacao all around the country, and they aren't being compensated for that work. So that curiosity allowed us to develop a model where we partner with them, contract them to do all of our supply chain with us. And instead of having an antagonistic relationship, we have a partnership with our logistics partners in the country. Generosity means assuming that everybody wants to do good and being very focused on finding win-wins versus win-loses in your dynamics.
And how can local businesses gain great profits without compromising that purpose?
I think it's really important to understand that an organization is a lot more like an organism. So the tree, if you think of a tree, the leaves and the roots are in partnership together to produce a fruit. So INARU has that same sort of concept that we see our farmers not as counterparties we want to push the price down on, but as essential foundational parts of our supply chain. And when you're thinking about aligning your needs with the needs of your partners, it's a lot easier to come to creative solutions. So really having a win-win mindset versus a win-lose.
INARU will be at the U.S. Dominican Embassy this week with Dominican leaders across the nation. And what's the key to lead with love?
Leading with love is really ensuring that your intention and your actions are aligned. So a small way that leaders or individuals can do that is actually supporting businesses that's practices enable the sorts of communities you want to create. So I would encourage all of them to buy some INARU chocolate that profit shares with producers both in the DR and values all of our partners by paying competitively and really being conscious about the decisions that you make, that they're aligned with your values. You know, every dollar is a vote, and you want to ensure that you're supporting businesses that are creating the world you want to see.
And we wanted to have you on to get the local businesses fired up. And what can local leaders do to make goodness a lifestyle?
Making goodness a lifestyle is understanding that, really being consistent with your intentions and really having patience to find the best results, not the fastest result. I think those are things that leaders want to keep in mind as they're creating legislation or forging partnership. Having the patience to stay in the paint to find true collaboration is something that I would suggest to all of the amazing leaders that are in town this week.
Well, Janett, thanks so much for sharing your great information, okay? It's so great to have you here during Black History Month to share this powerful message, okay?
Thank you. It was an honor. Be well.
Take care.